meetings, right? I've been to some stinkers, and I bet you have too. Don't try to deny it. And if you have to travel, forget it. Who needs it? But what if remote meetings could be more productive, more productive and more fun than in-person meetings, and all without having to put your trousers on? Well, I reckon with the right tools that they are. This is Square's TV App Lab number 99, where we talk about ways to improve your remote communication abilities. This is a lab on after hours and going out live on YouTube. So look at that, like we're on, we're on 99. So like if I was organised, I would plan something for number 100, but we'll see. I'm Michael Forrest. I'm a video pencil, shoot and CueCam presenter, among other things. And, well, these are the other things, which starts from the wrong place. So let's start with some updates. And I do not have my thing that stops the music. So, CueCam 3. It can be quite scary changing something that people are used to. But judging by the emails I've seen, we have unanimous agreement that it's a winner. Hey, let's celebrate this with some love. So it did take a lot out of me getting this out, and I'm still recovering, to be honest. I've been crunching for a while, but I'm still kind of working on some things. So I'm working on a proper press release that I can send out like before it goes too stale. And I'm also working on the website with the help of a couple of designer friends. So I'm excited that it's, CueCam's finally going to get a bit more of a coherent brand. You see, we've got like a little bit of a preview. I have picked a typeface that I think works nicely with my sort of little sort of illustration style. So we can do a thing, we can have this, we can have, hey, look, it's me. Hello. So today we're talking about when remote meetings are better than in person, though. I just jumped straight into that, didn't I? Because I think many meetings are a waste of time and resources, especially for companies with employees around the world. Oh, look, I'm just noticing that this is not even in the correct position. Shall we fix that? There we go. Let's do that again. So when remote meetings are better than in person, right? Many meetings are a bit of a waste of time and resources, especially for companies with employees around the world. For example, once I was working for this company that had offices in the UK and in Calgary. So once I actually flew to Calgary from London for like 3 days of meetings. It was supposed to be 4 days, but my original flight got cancelled after an hour waiting on the runway at Heathrow, and they had to put us up in a hotel overnight. I arrived a day late with like 7-hour jet lag just to sit in some sleepy meeting rooms while people sort of meandered through thoughts that would have been better off in an email, to be honest. Maybe a whiteboard got used, maybe some printouts were stuck on a glass wall, but it just didn't feel worth the effort. It cost the company money, it was a pain for me, it wasn't particularly productive, and this is all before you count the environmental cost of needlessly burning fossil fuels. The idea that an in-person meeting is always better than a remote meeting that's not always true, right? It certainly wasn't in this case. If the company had invested in infrastructure for higher quality remote meetings, this mess could have been avoided. I'm talking about microphones, cameras, and the right software. So mics make a difference. Another anecdote, I remote recorded a podcast with my friend Ivanka for several years, and we had great conversations when we were on our Rode NT USB microphones. But when she'd call me on her mobile, I really could, I couldn't deal with it. It was just such a difference in communication. The audio was muffled, glitchy, full of dropouts, and our usual sort of crystal clear communication was just compromised beyond recognition. It's really difficult to have a good conversation with a low quality microphone. You're just like, your brain is doing all this extra processing just to try and make sense of the words, let alone actually think about the ideas that the other person's saying. So that's a pain. Cameras make a difference. So just yesterday I was talking to my dad on Google Meet and he wanted to show off his new glasses. Look, I'm wearing my new glasses. These are the CueCam 3.0 glasses, by the way. I spoke to my dad on Google Meet and he wanted to show them, but he couldn't because his built-in FaceTime camera, like I just couldn't really tell. But once he switched over, he sort of got CueCam like running and fired up Shoot, and he switched over to his phone's camera, and I was able to properly admire his new look. Another point, like, which we can't really ignore, is your internet connection makes a difference. And I have yet another story for you. So just don't forget about the network connection. So I remember trying a new therapist over Skype a few years ago now. And her style was sort of to sit there and just like quietly listen and sort of look attentive, and but she sort of didn't really move very much. And so sometimes her video would freeze because of like whatever network problems. So she might miss something I just managed with like some great deal of difficulty to articulate about myself. And so I'm talking, but I have no idea if she can actually hear me. So I've got this kind of like twin, I'm saying this, but she hasn't moved for a while. Is she frozen? Like, and I sort of needed her to like give me some indication that she was there. And it really just undermined the whole thing. So, you know, if you find something difficult to say, the last thing you need is for it to be misheard or not heard at all. And it's bad in a therapy session, but it's like bad in team meeting. Like that's kind of bad when people mishear each other, and it's really bad in a client meeting. So like clarity matters, bandwidth matters. The blurrier your camera, the spottier your audio, the glitchier your network, the worse conversation you're going to have. So yeah, the first thing is just don't skimp on the network connection. I was in, when I was having that, I was in this studio in Hammersmith, and they just didn't have amazing internet. And I don't know how good hers was, but like, you know, you can always at least hold up your end and get a decent internet connection. And then for everything else, we've got CueCam Presenter, obviously. So CueCam Presenter transforms remote calls using the Apple products you already own. So if you're an Apple user, you might not need to buy any more hardware. You probably have everything you need to take things to the next level. It makes it easy to do really great things like drawing on your webcam and sort of sharing and zooming your screen and pasting up an image or sharing a video, and makes that all very friction-free. I know this stuff is kind of possible in the meeting software, but also if you're switching between like different clients, different people, you want to use a different piece of meeting software, that can be a bit, you don't, like the number of times I've been in a call with someone and they don't know where the share button is for that particular app, right? And whereas CueCam just keeps that consistent across all the apps, you can just do it via CueCam a lot more effortlessly. You don't need screen sharing permissions, you don't need any of that stuff. And it works so well, you're going to wonder why you ever bothered traveling. Like there's very few meetings that can really justify traveling, especially like, you know, like transatlantic flights and that kind of thing. So today I'll tell you how to set it up in Zoom or Teams or Meet, and I'll give you 3 tricks. What's that? 3 tricks. 3 tricks. We should do that. That will make your meetings better, clearer, and I reckon a bit more fun. I mean, what's not fun about that? So what do you need? You need Mac plus CueCam Presenter. So you download CueCam Presenter from the website, which I will, you know, this is linked to and I will share. You get an iPhone with Shoot, and that's in the App Store, and you get an iPad with Video Pencil. Once you've got the CueCam part, it's going to tell you how to get the other parts. And because CueCam Presenter is made for companies, it means that we've got special licensing that unlocks all 3 apps. So and you can do seat-based pricing as well. So you could give your whole team a license so that you can all be using this thing, and that's going to massively lower friction in your interactions. And there's lifetime purchases now, which are very affordable, especially for the essentials, CueCam Essentials, which actually might be all you need. Like the sort of suite version of it really is just like if you've got like a proper teleprompter, a proper blue screen, like big lighting and that kind of thing, which I'm sure 1 or 2 of your team will have, but you know, most people will be able to live without all that stuff to start with. But here's something else. You really should have a decent mic, and I just don't believe in having meetings without like an earpiece in of some sort, headphones. So I always use this. This was like, to be honest, like it's a very low quality earphone, but it's wireless, it's Bluetooth, and I can just like, you can't really see it, it's not distracting. But like anything that's going to help you hear without it coming out of your laptop speakers, because yes, you can do sort of noise cancellation, but I just think it like undermines things, and it's just better to have headphones. So here are 3 tips for better meetings in CueCam. So number 1, use Shoot as your camera and second screen. So once you've installed CueCam on your Mac, you can run Shoot Pro Webcam on your iPhone, put it on a stand, and then select Shoot as your camera in CueCam. And then when you select CueCam as your camera in Zoom or Teams, then you're going to be able to see that. I did think I had a picture to demonstrate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of go over to the website where I have, yeah, here it is. I'm just going to copy that image so that you can see that. Copy image and paste. And paste. Right, so this is what you're going to look like. So your I guess we can get rid of me as well, right, for now. So your phone is on a stand like this. Phone is on a stand, just on a little selfie stick, and that means that you're making you're sort of like eyes are level with the person you're talking to, and you're going to be able to see them. I'll show you this in a second, but you're going to be able to see them on this screen. So you can be doing other stuff on this screen now. Like you don't have to worry about like keeping them in the foreground on your laptop because they're just going to be up there, which is just great because it means you can share your screen and do other stuff on other stuff down here. And just whenever you look up, you're making eye contact and you can also see them. So it just sort of makes it a bit more coherent. So you're going to select CueCam as your camera in your meeting software, and then this is the sort of tricky bit. This is the sort of external screen. So you're going to you get this icon for shoot in the top bar. So it's going to here you see it says shoot on Michael's iPhone, and then it's got this send program feed to shoot, and that's what makes shoot become a second screen. And then from this drop down menu, so by default it's going to share what you're seeing, your virtual camera, but you can see all the windows on your computer, and if you select your Zoom meeting, which in this case is down here under all my other windows, then that is what's going to go over to your phone. And like I just showed you, that then that person, the other person's face is going to be on that phone screen. So now you have a display dedicated to the person you're talking to, and they can see when you're looking at them. Right, tip number 2, sketch on a blank board. So in CueCam, you can use the share bar to select blank board. So you can either do this from the main CueCam window, or this is your sort of top, so it's like, what is it, 18, 12. So in your status bar, you've got the CueCam icon. You can just click there. This is the share bar. It's the same as in the app. And you can just share blank board. And what that gives you is just a board like this. So now you can do your, you can do your sort of nice sort of business drawings. Oh, we need a memo with, we need to make that very efficient and really like help this client feel noticed. And then something you can do, say you draw something and you kind of run out of space, you can actually, if with 2 fingers on the iPad, you can sort of like move that around. And you can actually zoom out and sort of make that smaller and sort of start to create yourself a little, a bit of a process diagram. So say like, I don't know, the database needs to have this. And then we're going to be sort of interfacing in the front end with the iChat server. I'm just making up some meeting stuff. So it's quite good if you sort of like, want to sort of zoom around and kind of like have a like slightly bigger context than that to that sort of one space. And you can clear that. And of course with this thing you can, I don't know if it's going to let me do it in presentation mode, but you can change the size of this. So you'll get a little resize widget. So, and you see how I'm in the center still. When we sort of like exit the blank board, which you can do with another click of that button, this one, it's just going to like kind of move that elegantly aside. So tip number 3 is instantly sharing images. So there's no easier way to share an image on a video call than with CueCam. So the way that works is you just copy the image. So I just did it there. Just copy the image using, whatever, and then just paste it in using CueCam's share bar or the right-click menu. So if I sort of go into demo mode, so here's demo mode working. I think I was supposed to reboot. Right, copy image. I can just like paste a picture, and it's right there. And then with this picture, we can do other things. So on your computer, you can like zoom in using your trackpad. and just show a special part of it. So this is like I'm showing a diagram of something, but imagine if it was a design you were working on, then you'd just be able to sort of zoom around to the right bit. And then with Video Pencil, you can sort of use the laser pointer tool, say, look, that's CueCam. You could, you know, if it is more of a screenshot, so let's say, you know, I'm working on the new, I'll bring this up, you know, I'm working on this new CueCam brand. I could sort of, you know, grab a screenshot, paste that in. Okay, so now I'm sort of showing this, and I can say, okay, so for typography, like first let's talk about typography. I can use the focus feature to say, okay, here's the typography. We're going to talk about that first, and then we're going to talk about the color palette, and then we're going to, you know, what do we think about this, and we're going to talk about this effect, and like it's, you know, what do people think about this, you know, this sort of like icon without the outline. You can have those conversations, and you can sort of take notes and say, like, you know, you can say, you know, like you can zoom into that. So I'm actually zooming in from the iPad, so that actually when I draw on something and like zoom out again, that's going to sort of stay in the right place. So we can say, like, you know, Ian isn't sure, right, about isn't sure, you know, we could sort of I could take notes for the meeting, and we could all kind of talk it through. So it's really easy to share something like that. So, you know, you don't have to copy and paste. You can also just drag any image from your desktop into that window and share it that way. So really, you know, this has been pretty quick, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. So that's all with the live camera view. And that just, you know, the live camera view, using your phone as a camera, as a webcam, using your iPad to draw and sort of laser pointer and focus things, I think it's going to make your meetings a lot more fun and productive. And remember, you know, it's just me, if it's just one person with that power, you know, you could just, I guess, get away with the screen sharing feature. But if you can have multiple people, 2 people, 3 people in the meeting, all able to sort of throw up their thoughts in the same way, think how much that reduces the barriers to communication. And think about like the sort of fun that you can have with it. Like someone could share, you know, copy and paste the other person's camera and like draw on that. And you don't have to sort of log into some special plugin. You don't have to kind of like keep asking for permission to take over the screen share. Like everyone can just be interactive, and it can be really fluid. And you could do fun things like, you know, if you know you're in a thumbnail, you can still kind of write something really big, and people can see like that you're trying to get some point across. It just unlocks so much, just having the power of this, like, you know, hi, you know, help, you know, and that's like in the corner. There's all sorts of things you can do, and I just think it's really worth just basically sticking that shim. You've got like, here's your camera and microphone, and then here's, you know, zoom. What's zoom? Let's give that an icon. So that's zoom, and it's just CueCam just sits in between and just makes everything better. So yeah, as I say, it's the tip of the iceberg, because once you start using the smart scripting features, you're going to unlock whole new levels of power and efficiencies, and more on that next time. So, you know, I guess it's a relatively short one. I guess I am a little bit, let's say, you know, it's been an intense few weeks trying to get CueCam 3 out, so I hope you'll indulge me doing a shorter stream today. So if you do want to find us, we've got like 300 odd people on Discord now. If you want to come and talk about stuff, that's where we hang out. And to play us out today is baby Harvey. DJ Harvey, I was wondering, like, anyway, he's going to do some live experimental electronica. This video has had 940 views on TikTok and 93 likes, so he's cooking. I can quit my job. All right, see you next week. Thank you, everyone.